They said Gucci Mane isn't really Gucci Mane. That's Hobson. They gave him plastic surgery to become Gucci Mane. And now they saying Damar Hamlin isn't Damar Hamlin. And if you ever watched the TV show The Boys, you know about Noir. You know how Noir died, but they had somebody else come back to play him. That's crazy.
Yo, what's good everyone? Kanye West just dropped some information that has the entire internet spiraling right now. We're talking full-on conspiracy theory territory here, and it involves one of hip-hop's most controversial topics, the alleged cloning of Gucci Mane. Yeah, you heard that right. Cloning. And yeah, isn't holding back on why he believes this went down. Now, before we dive deep, understand this. What I'm about to break down has been circulating in underground hip-hop circles for years, but Kanye stepping into this conversation, that changes everything. So buckle up, because this rabbit hole goes deeper than you think. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe, like, and drop a comment if you love this kind of content. Alright, let's set the stage. For those who might not be fully up to speed, there's been a theory floating around since about 2016 that the Gucci Mane who came out of prison isn't the same Gucci Mane who went in. I know. Sounds wild, right? But hear me out. In 2016, Gucci was released from Indiana's Terre Haute prison after serving time on federal gun charges. When he emerged, fans immediately noticed something was off. The man who walked out looked different. He was leaner, more articulate in interviews, completely sober, and honestly, almost unrecognizable from the Gucci we knew before. His whole demeanor had shifted. The Gucci Mane before prison was reportedly dealing with serious substance issues, erratic behavior, and a lifestyle that was, allegedly, spiraling. The Gucci, after, a completely reformed family man with a new physique and what seemed like a whole new personality. Social media went absolutely insane. Comparisons started flying. Old photos next to new ones, pointing out different facial features, different mannerisms, different speech patterns. The theory gained so much traction that Gucci himself had to address it, laughing it off and showing his tattoos to prove his identity. But for many, that wasn't enough. The conspiracy persisted, and now, allegedly, Kanye West is saying there might actually be something to it.
But even that was just his flesh. Gucci was nowhere to be found. I looked dead in that nigga eyes. That nigga was not in there. So it's some weird shit going on out here. Like, I don't know if the clone shit, I don't put it past, like, nobody. I'm sure they got the technology to do that. But that's not the real Gucci. That's not the real Gucci. Gucci probably dead. I think they killed him in prison. Because they was calling me, like, every time Gucci locked up, like all his nurses, because every time Gucci get locked up, they put him on the mental floor, because we both got bipolar and schizophrenic and shit. So anytime any one of us get locked up, they don't put us in the general population. They take us to the mental floor. And when they take him on the mental floor, like, all the nurses and shit be giving him the phone. They just let him have his way. So I used to talk to Gucci when he was locked. All the times he got locked up,
So here's where things get really interesting. According to recent reports and allegedly leaked audio, Kanye has been discussing the entertainment industry's darkest secrets in private conversations, and the Gucci situation supposedly came up. Now, we need to be clear, Kanye has been known to make controversial statements, especially regarding industry control, manipulation, and what he calls the system that runs entertainment. He's talked about handlers, about artists being controlled, about people being reprogrammed. But specifically regarding Gucci, Kanye allegedly stated that when certain artists become too unpredictable, too dangerous to the industry's bottom line, or know too much, there are mechanisms in place to deal with that. And one of those mechanisms, according to this theory that Ye is reportedly supporting, involves replacing the artist entirely, not killing them because that creates martyrs and investigations, but replacing them with someone more controllable. Someone who looks like them, sounds similar, but is fundamentally different in ways that matter to the people pulling strings. Now, Kanye's reasoning, allegedly, goes something like this. Gucci Mane before prison was a liability. He was unpredictable. He was beefing with everyone, his substance issues were public, and his behavior was allegedly causing problems for people with serious money invested in his career and the broader Atlanta hip-hop scene. He was scheduled to serve significant prison time. And according to Ye, that created the perfect opportunity. Remove the problematic original, bring in a replacement who's been trained and prepared, and present it as a redemption story. America loves a good comeback narrative, right? The reformed rapper who got clean, got fit, and turned his life around. It's marketable, it's controllable, and most importantly, it's profitable.
Shit, I've been personally playing for about 8 years now. It started around when around Illmind 5 when that came out, because the song was so big, and then they told me I had to kind of sacrifice something. They said you're gonna have to pay it back because you just put this information out there, and this is gonna put people in the wrong mindset of what we're trying to do in society. So they told me that if I don't do these list of things, then they're going to hurt my family or hurt, people that I really care about. And they told me to go to this office. It was on Wilshire Boulevard in Los Angeles. And then when I went in, I asked them over the phone, what are they going to have me do? They said they couldn't tell me. And then when I went into the office, they sat me down and it was like an all white room, and they opened one of the doors and it had a Gucci suit. A Gucci bodysuit. And I said, oh no, please don't tell me that is what I think it is. They said, yeah, it's exactly what you think it is, pal.
Let's look at what conspiracy theorists and now allegedly Kanye point to as evidence. First, there's the physical transformation. Look, we all know people can lose weight and get healthy in prison. That's documented and happens. But the level of transformation Gucci underwent, some say it's almost superhuman. We're talking about a complete body recomposition, facial structure changes that some argue go beyond weight loss, and even differences in his tattoo placement that eagle-eyed fans have pointed out. Gucci has explained these discrepancies. Tattoos getting touched up, the ice cream cone tattoo on his face allegedly being removed and altered. But for believers, these explanations don't add up. Second, there's the personality shift. Pre-prison Gucci had a very specific way of speaking, specific mannerisms, and a certain energy that was raw and unfiltered. Post-prison Gucci? More polished, more media-trained, and some would say, almost too perfect. His interviews became smoother. His music, while still maintaining his style, had a different quality to it. He went from chaotic energy to disciplined businessman seemingly overnight. Now, is this just maturity and sobriety? Possibly. But Kanye's alleged position is that this level of transformation is suspicious when it happens this dramatically, this quickly. Third, and this is where it gets really conspiracy heavy, there are the industry connections. Gucci's career post-release has been remarkably smooth. Multiple album deals, collaborations with major artists, a clothing line, book deals, and mainstream acceptance in a way that pre-prison Gucci never achieved. According to the theory Kanye allegedly supports, this level of industry support and coordination suggests something more orchestrated than a simple artist comeback. Now here's the thing about Kanye getting involved in this conversation. He's not just talking about Gucci. Allegedly, Ye is using the Gucci situation as an example of a much larger system of control in the entertainment industry. He's been vocal for years about artists being controlled, about handlers, about the industry having ways to deal with people who don't play ball. Remember when Kanye talked about being drugged and institutionalized against his will? When he discussed his breakthrough and how people tried to control him through medication and manipulation? According to sources close to these alleged conversations, Kanye believes the Gucci situation represents what the industry is capable of when an artist becomes too much of a problem. It's not about Gucci specifically, it's about the precedent it allegedly sets. If they can replace one of the most distinctive rappers in the game and have people accept it with just a "he got clean and worked out" explanation, what does that say about the level of control the industry has? What does it say about how replaceable artists really are to the people who profit from them? He allegedly points to other strange situations in hip-hop and entertainment. Artists who came back from breaks completely different. Celebrities who had mysterious breakdowns followed by eerily different public personas. The pattern, according to Kanye's alleged statements, is consistent. Artist becomes problematic, artist disappears or is removed from public life. Artist returns better, but fundamentally different in ways that benefit handlers and industry executives. And here's what makes Kanye's involvement significant. He's experienced industry pressure firsthand. He's talked about being threatened, being controlled, people trying to medicate him into compliance. So when someone with his level of experience and insider knowledge starts allegedly validating conspiracy theories, people listen. Because unlike random internet theorists, Kanye has actually been in rooms with these industry power players. He's seen how things work behind the scenes. Now, let's pump the brakes for a second and look at the rational explanations here, because we have to be fair. Gucci Mane himself has repeatedly denied these theories. He's shown his tattoos, his scars, he's brought family members to verify his identity. His transformation, while dramatic, can be explained by sobriety, proper nutrition, consistent exercise, and the structure that prison life can provide. People genuinely can change dramatically when they get clean and remove themselves from toxic environments. The personality changes? That could be maturity, therapy, and the natural result of surviving a system that breaks most people. Gucci has talked about using his prison time to read, to reflect, to plan for a better future. His more polished media presence could simply be the result of media training and understanding how to protect himself legally and financially. These are all reasonable explanations that don't require cloning or replacement theories. As for the industry support, Gucci had always been talented and influential. When he came out clean, focused, and ready to work, the industry saw an opportunity to profit from his comeback story. That's capitalism, not conspiracy. Artists who get their lives together and become reliable business partners get more opportunities. That's just how the entertainment business works. And Kanye, look, we have to acknowledge that has been in a controversial space mentally and publicly for years now. His statements need to be taken with context. He's made many claims about various topics that haven't been verified. That doesn't mean he's wrong about everything, but it does mean we need to be critical consumers of information, even when it comes from someone we respect or find interesting. But here's the thing, despite all the logical explanations, this theory persists. And Kanye allegedly feeding into it only makes it stronger. Why? Because at its core, this isn't really about whether Gucci was literally cloned or replaced. It's about trust. It's about fans feeling like there's a fundamental disconnect between the artists they supported and the person they're seeing now. It's about the very real history of the entertainment industry exploiting, controlling, and damaging artists, especially black artists. We know for a fact that the music industry has a dark history. We know artists have been manipulated, controlled through contracts, pushed to destructive behaviors, and discarded when no longer profitable. We know there are handlers, managers, and executives who view artists as products, not people. So when a theory like this emerges, it resonates because it's tapping into very real anxieties about autonomy, authenticity, and control in an industry that has historically treated artists, particularly in hip-hop, as disposable. Kanye allegedly bringing this up serves a purpose beyond just the Gucci situation. It forces conversations about artist treatment, industry power structures, and the loss of authenticity in mainstream hip-hop. Whether the specific theory is true or not, the larger issues it represents are absolutely real. Artists lose themselves in this industry every day. Maybe not through literal cloning, but through pressure to change who they are, to fit molds that make them more marketable, to suppress their authentic selves for commercial success. So what's the truth? Honestly, we may never know for certain. What we do know is that Kanye West allegedly stepping into this conversation brings major attention to questions about artist autonomy, industry control, and what we're willing to believe about the systems that profit from our favorite artists. Is Gucci Mane a clone? Probably not in the literal science fiction sense, but has the industry system changed who artists are in fundamental ways? That's a different question, and one worth asking. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because I've got another messy deep dive coming your way soon. This is Spotlight Rush, where the light always finds the truth, even in the dark corners of Hollywood. Stay tuned and stay sharp.